Our next talk is going to talk about how to build community and how to learn from your community. And please welcome an expert in that, Shelly Farnham.
Hello. So I would like you to raise your hand if being creative or innovative is a very important part or very important goal in your life. Raise your hand. Yeah, so welcome to the creative class. Today I'm going to be talking about community and how can you really leverage community to help be more inspired and develop more inspiration in your life. So community is a web of interpersonal relationships where you're really engaged in the process of exchanging ideas and being supportive of each other, but it's also characterized by a feeling of belonging or a feeling of identity with the group. So thinking about community, the sociobiological purposes of community is kind of like thinking about love. So the way love leads to babies, community leads to social capital, it leads to resources, it leads to your thriving in the next generation. Now, community is unique in that it enables what are called transitive relationships. So this is relationships with people you barely know or you don't know at all, but they are willing to loan you things, support you, because you're members of the same community. In the same way, you can get ideas and creativity from people. Think about it like you have a giant room full of people and you want to collect ideas from everybody. You want to throw it up in the air and see how all the ideas land. And hopefully you'll see some interesting patterns in the way that they land. Which leads to tip number one. If you want to leverage community, you really need to be thinking about diversity. You need to find people who are not like you. Find people in your own groups, find people in other groups, find other groups. People who are not like you. You also want to be looking for a certain rotation in those people who are sort of on the periphery of your social network, otherwise known as weak social ties. You want to rotate because what you're looking for is new ideas. You want access to new ideas. You want to have develop friendships with people where you have really good flow. The idea of flow is these are people where you feel engaged, you're challenged, you're not threatened, and you can really lose your self-consciousness and immerse yourself in your interactions with that person. I highly recommend, I've done this, I have some friends who've done this, get a whiteboard and put it in your kitchen, which is usually the most social place in the room. And the number one rule is you can erase it any moment because really you just always want to leave room for new ideas. You want to play different roles. You don't have time to be a leader all the time. Sometimes it's good to be just a passive observer while you're learning or just to expose yourself to new ideas. But be a leader sometimes because that's when you really get access to new, you get so much more out of being a leader in a group than just a passive observer. It's very important to play nice because your reputation spreads like wildfire. It's okay to be less involved. It's not okay to overcommit and be a flake. Think about that. Hang out a lot in bars. This is a favorite recommendation. Because conversation is the driver of creativity, where you're just constantly engaged in building on your ideas over time. Tim Sanders wrote a book called Love is the Killer App. And the idea behind this is be a love cat. Give away your knowledge, give away your information, give away your ideas, and you'll get back so much more than you could possibly give away. So here's another one. Play the yeah and generative idea game. So what's happening here is try not to be critical. What you want to do is incorporate what the last person said and then build on it. And you're building and building and building and building until you come up with some fabulous idea. You want to generate as many ideas as possible, but recognize obviously most of them are not going to work out. You want to pick the good ones, and you pick ones that you know it's going to be, because of the unique combination of skills and passion and the people around you, you're going to do something really unique. Have a place. This is really important. You need a place where you can all work together. Once you cross that line of actually doing a project, it's important to be around each other and just have that constant flow of ideas around whatever it is that you're doing. Have project days. There's some people here who've done this. Saturday House is a good example. Art Day was a group of friends of mine. We would each pick a different art theme each month, and we would each host for that month. Worked out pretty well. Give up control, and this is actually really important. If you're really tapping into or leveraging all the diversity of ideas that are out there, the things that you end up doing are going to be very, very different from what you would be able to conceive of if you're developing ideas in isolation. So you need to give up control. Here are some really good groups or events sort of in the tech, creative tech worlds. You should be going to them, exposing yourself to new people. My favorite, I would say, well, aside from Ignite, is Dorkbot. actually organizing, we're a big part of DorkBot, we're organizing an event this summer called Frayed Wire. It's an entire day where the whole point is to really inspire people to be creative, expose themselves to creative, and really, develop relationships with other creative people in Seattle. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Shelly.